What's the saddest way you've seen someone ruin their life? In high school, there was a girl who was brilliant, best in all classes, and generally quite a nice and shy person. She came from a gypsy family who are generally rough and don't value education. In our final year, we saw her less. She ended up not showing up to final exams and prom. A few months later, I found out her parents got her married, and a couple months after she had a kid. I really think she could have done amazing. She used to always get top scores. Such a shame. Marina started at our school in year 7, right when we all moved up to secondary school in Manchester. She was this tiny, quiet girl who kept her head down and didn't talk much to anyone. Her family had just moved to the area, and you could tell she was nervous about being the new kid. By the end of that first term, every teacher knew her name. She was getting perfect marks in everything. Maths, English, science, history, it didn't matter. She'd sit in the front row, take meticulous notes in these neat little handwriting, and her hand would shoot up whenever a teacher asked a difficult question. I sat next to her in biology for 2 years. She was kind when you got to know her, always willing to help if you didn't understand something. She had this way of explaining things that made complicated stuff suddenly make sense. Our teacher, Mrs. Patterson, used to say Marina could teach the class better than she could. Her family was different from most of ours. They were Romani, part of a larger extended family that lived in caravans on a site near Oldham. Her dad and uncles did scrap metal and driveway paving. Her mom didn't work outside the home. Marina would sometimes come to school with her younger siblings, walking them to the primary school next door before coming to our building. The cultural clash was obvious. Her family didn't really understand why she spent so much time on homework. I heard her once on the phone during lunch break, speaking Romani to her mom, and she sounded like she was defending herself about something. When she hung up, she looked exhausted. In year 10, our career counselor, Mr. Davies, pulled Marina aside multiple times to talk about university. He showed her information about Oxford and Cambridge, about scholarship programs, about how she could study whatever she wanted. She had the grades for anything: medicine, engineering, law, anything at all. But something shifted in year 11. She started missing days here and there. When she was at school, she seemed distracted, not her usual focused self. She stopped raising her hand in class. During lunch, instead of sitting with our usual group in the library, she'd be on her phone, texting frantically. By March of year 11, just weeks before our GCSE exams, she was barely showing up. When she did come to school, she looked tired, like she wasn't sleeping. Her uniform wasn't as neat as it used to be. I tried asking if everything was okay, but she just gave me this sad smile and said it was family stuff. She didn't come to any of our final exams. Not one. Her desk sat empty while the rest of us filled in our exam papers. Mrs. Patterson looked devastated every time she glanced at that empty seat. Prom came and went in June. Marina wasn't there. Nobody had heard from her in weeks. Her phone number didn't work anymore. I found out what happened through Facebook in August. One of the girls from our year had seen Marina at the Arndale Center, pushing a pram. She was with an older guy, maybe mid-20s, wearing a wedding ring. When the girl tried to say hello, Marina barely acknowledged her, just gave a quick nod and kept walking. I did some more digging. Turned out her parents had arranged a marriage with some cousin from another family. She'd gotten married in April, right when she should have been sitting her exams. The baby came in July. She was 17 years old. I saw her myself about a year later at a bus stop in Cheatham Hill. She was with 2 kids by then, one in a pram and a toddler holding her hand. She looked so much older than 18. Her hair was tied back, she was wearing a long skirt and cardigan, and she had this blank expression on her face. I almost went over to say something, but I didn't know what to say. What do you say to someone who is supposed to be preparing for university applications, but instead is stuck in a life she never chose? She saw me looking, and for just a second, our eyes met. There was this flash of recognition, maybe embarrassment, maybe sadness. Then she looked away and got on her bus. I still think about her sometimes, about how she used to light up when she solved a difficult equation or when Mrs. Patterson praised her work, about how she had a gift that could have taken her anywhere in the world. Instead, she's probably still in that same area, raising kids, living the exact life her mother and grandmother lived. All that potential, all that brilliance, just gone because her family valued tradition over her future.